Welcome to Overwatch, and welcome to a quick game that I'm sure those of you who are watching the screen right now can tell was kind of interesting. Now, while I work on my guide content, I want to have a video or two just out in the meantime, just to keep things ticking over nicely, keep my thoughts on the game fresh, and keep being used to talking to you guys about the game. And this match that we're going to look at was another little one that just sprung up out of nowhere, where we just had the Dwarfageddon. Now, I've gone up against teams like this a few times. I've gone up against teams with lots of Torbjorns and had an easy time blasting through them. Unfortunately, well, you'll see with this game, it's a fairly short game as you can tell by the timer, and it's gonna be kind of interesting to see how badly they handle this team. Now, how to beat something like this? Well, before we get into that, let's talk about the state of Torbjorn right now. In my opinion, he's actually a little bit overpowered. His turret basically acquires aim incredibly fast, and it's very difficult to deal with him because he could just simply rebuild the turret so quickly as well. What I would kind of like is if the time between the tier 1 turret and the tier 2 turret was just a bit longer, similar to how they changed Symmetra so that you had that opening when her teleporter was down by her not being able to regenerate ultimate while her teleporter is up. It sort of gives you this breathing room where you can push in quickly, where she's not going to just get another teleporter up immediately. Now, the problem with the current, well, let's call him Newborn, because I really like that Mew song. So, the problem with Newborn is he's just very difficult to shift. Like, he can rebuild so quickly that taking out his turret isn't good enough. You have to take out him and his turret, otherwise he's going to get it up in a matter of no time. You can sort of keep it pinned back, but the amount of pressure that the turret sort of develops when you're trying to defend, and here I overextend a bit trying to get that roadhog. That's just me being greedy, trying to protect a turret that I should have just let die, to be honest. But we can watch the other dwarves merrily defend the point. I mean, we've got more than enough turrets on the point. And this is the real problem, right? When they kill one turret, the Torbjorn's turret that died is going to get rebuilt before they can actually gain any ground on that. And it's going to be level 2 before you can stop it. Now, against a single Torbjorn, you can very easily sort of stall this out. You can do it by just constantly damaging the turret. So the way that this works is you can think of every hammer swing he does to build the turret up as being like, it's either a healing swing or a building swing. If the turret even has 1 damage, it will be a healing swing and you'll get 0 building. So the swings you can see on this turret, they're all building swings. If the turret even had 1 damage, then they would be healing swings and wouldn't do any building. So you can sort of try and keep him pinned down by just constantly dealing, small damage to his turret. As long as every swing is getting eaten up, he's not going to be able to build it up. But right now, it's just too easy for people to defend him so he can get it up and running. The new scrap mechanic is super nice though, I really like that. It just basically, you end up littering the battlefield with effectively health packs. Like, that's how I think of them. Don't think of them as anything more fancy than just shoving health packs everywhere for people to use. And eventually the battlefield will be strewn with the things, like even with a single Torbjorn, you'll probably get enough scrap eventually to just spam them. And it is super nice when you play someone like Zenyatta, who has very little health, to be able to run over and pick those up. It's also very nice with Zarya as well. It just makes that little bit extra bulkier. As you see, I've died twice, but I'm fine sort of risking my life and dying. My turret's still up. And I've noticed that like a shitload of people started spectating, probably because this is an amazing match and I couldn't resist the pun, that this is a scrappy fight. I hope you all appreciate that. I hope you all appreciate the effort that went into that joke. It was absolutely 0, and this is bold by Junkrat. Like, do not send in Riptire against turrets in Genji. Yeah, he can reflect all day, but, well, he can't reflect all day. That's the precise problem. He can only reflect for a few seconds. We can see Reinhardt forced into a corner. I'm just going to go in and finish him off. The right click is very interesting to use. It basically has a slow fire rate, so there's like a split-second delay. I'd say about half a second after you right click before it actually fires. Reinhardt's trying to lure me into a trap, but nope. The Rivet gun does a huge amount of damage now, especially headshots. They can basically two-shot people. Just landing the hits is much harder. But basically, he plays now like I used to outline in my character analysis of him. You just put the turret down, you run around, you deal damage, you get to fight whoever you want, and as you can see, we can just clean this up with Torbjorn supremacy of his gunfire, the weight of all that hot lead. And someone has betrayed us, someone has swapped to Soldier 76. I don't know what possessed them to do that. I mean, this is insanity to me. And yeah, just punch Reinhardt in the dick. There we go, that's just an easy way of dealing with him. When in doubt. Remember everyone out there who can play the game and who will play the game. Melee attacks do go through barriers, so it's a very good way of finishing off Reinhardt, who's trying to cower behind his shield. Genji just killed by sheer weight of fire. This is when they start getting a bit clever. They basically start sending people who can get onto the point and stand on the point. And they can sort of avoid the gunfire and get to the point. This is actually what they started to need to do, basically. They needed people to do that, and this actually almost breaks us. If they had a better push off the back of this Diva bomb, we would have lost, I think, because she took out 2 turrets, one of the Torbjorns. I managed to get molten core, but I don't have a turret out there, so I can't do anything, and of course Reinhardt finishes me off. And right now we're actually kind of scrambling. If they had a better follow-up with that Diva ult, we would have really struggled, because Diva ult, unlike things like Hanzo's ultimate, will take out the turret, so Diva is actually a really good counter. I'll also say that Zarya is also a very strong counter to Torbjorn, simply because you can use his turrets as free ways of building up that lovely, delicious charge that you so desperately need as Zarya now. It's super hard to play her when you can't build ultimate while taking damage. You just have, like, I feel like I'm having 1 or 2 fewer ultimates every match. Really feels nasty. Right now I'm trying to get a turret set up in here because, well, I've noticed that they've been jumping in here, but unfortunately I have to play Ring Around the Rosie with Zarya, and that's just not going to work out, so she's just going to cut through me. But they only have 25 seconds, so they're not really going to make it in time. You have enough ultimates and enough Torbjorns with molten core ready to go. Solid 76. Oh, what a disgrace. What a disgrace. He's too tall for this team. It's not allowed. And of course they're pushing forward, going for the win, but they're not going to be able to do it. They just all get cut down. We can see it from the lovely kill feed. Beautiful addition to the game. They're just getting cut down. Junkrat managed to get a turret, but we still have 4 Torbjorns up there, and that's 4 turrets. And look, you can throw armor surprisingly far. Now they're going to try and contest the point, and Hanzo's going to fire his dragon, but the dragon's not going to do anything here. Like, I'm not too keen on that Hanzo pick. I'd rather have a Pharah or something that can easily handle the turrets. Hanzo can manage, but I think Pharah's just a little bit better. Otherwise, that's just a quick look at this match. I thought it was a fun one. I hope you guys think it was a fun one too. And this is going to be used as filler footage in the upcoming guide, but I thought it's just too good not to have as a complete match on my channel. Toodles. Poor Genji. Oh. It's the fact that all his shots land at crotch height. It's just humiliating.